Appleton.
Appleton.
Yeah. It's Appleton Radio Show. Ryan Augustus, JTB.
What up?
Yeah, man. Wednesday night.
Yes, sir.
Rap night. Appleton Radio night.
Yeah.
And we're here.
We're here. We got big things going on. We got big things happening. People creeping into the studio as we talk.
That's right.
And get ready to talk. What's up, my man? How you doing?
Definitely. It's another Wednesday. We're back here helping put together some files and crates of Maine Hip Hop and Maine Hip Hop history.
Yeah, we got new Maine Hip Hop, we got old Maine Hip Hop, but a couple exclusives you'll hear tonight from Trails, I9, ECID, Primate,
Soul, brand new Soul joint.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff snuck in, but
definitely
really the topic tonight is the fact that we're gonna dive back into graffiti a little bit with some special guests. We got all kinds of things happening, things you don't want us even to talk about.
Listen,
you should turn off your fucking shit right now. And go away.
We're giving a voice to the hand of many artistic characters that have lurked throughout the Portland scene for many years and have helped create a beautiful landscape for the residents of this city and this area. And really happy to have, some of the people that we got coming through. But more importantly, the homie Learn is coming through the Appleton Radio Show for the first time.
Absolutely.
And, if you look back at what we've done and who we've had on here and what it's built up to, and the fact that we've got Learn coming through and rumors of EMBER ONE coming through and Rich will obviously be in the house. Turtle's in the building with the Newcastle, blaring. So it's all good. That's what it is here. And I'm glad that we're able to bring this half of the culture in and put it down alongside the music, man. It's really special.
Yeah, we're gonna have to ask them if there's any Maine hip hop that they personally enjoy. I always like to ask that. I think I've asked that. But yeah, man. Other than that, you know the deal, man. Maine hip hop. By the way, Mr. Ryan Augustus, happy birthday!
Hey, man,
we got 27 years of. I dropped 27 bombs, but I want to do that to the listeners.
No, I appreciate that, man. No, it's cool. You know what? I'm very fortunate to be here another year, and the fact that my 27th lands on Appleton Radio and a rap night. Damn, man, I'm going to do it big. We're going to have some fun. And beyond that, we got a huge Appleton radio show.
And you're drinking the Appleton rum
Appleton rum and some Canada Dry, messing with that Schweppes swag. I'm not with that.
I heard they're going to have Appleton on special as usual.
That's right, $3 shots at the Big Easy for Appleton rum. Just mention Appleton Radio and you'll get yourself a discounted shot. Also, big shout out to our sponsors, my homie Jay Dodge out at Momentum.
Boom.
Ken Bell at the Big Easy.
Yes, sir.
And the homie James doing it real big at Benchmark Multimedia for all your CD pressing needs. I don't know what else to say besides let's get into some music.
Yeah, let's look for all of them later in May too, hopefully on the show. We're trying to work through that.
Indeed.
But yeah, all right, let's just kick it off, man. I'm thinking Essence is what I have lined up. An oldie off her Right Now solo project.
Nice.
Just to mention, she's got a new project that's like just about done.
Right.
And getting ready to be dropped.
Definitely.
I hear her talking about it, so I'm excited. That's going to be good.
And the great thing is, she linked up with the homie One Below and with the homies One Below, and basically she got this block production for this joint that she did here. She originally wrote it over one of his beats and was like, I want to release it on this. And he's like, nah, I'm going to make you a fresh beat that you can put that over.
Yeah.
And was like, here, a little white girl from Maine, I'm going to send you this shit for free because I like your bars. So take that into consideration. That's pretty big right there. Shout out to Essence making moves in the scene. A new project on the way. So let's get it going. By the way, before we go, big shout out to the Jaw Gems, which is what you've been listening to throughout the whole intro. We'll give them a little blare right there. Killing it. If you haven't heard the EP, make sure you get it. It's called Take a Sip of My Wish. This is Baleen. All kinds of crazy joints off that, and check their music video. But we're going to get right into Lady Essence right now with Everybody Got a Method.
Appleton.
They say I'm a little angry, offset a toss back potential through the roof. They ain't know that I was off yet. Off meds for me just means I am off lead. Had to clear my throat, I spoke, now the cops dead. Off ledge and edge, closer to the cliff now. Light another spliff now, tell me what is this now? In all my years, ears never heard this sound. Anger that's attacking a soul into the bliss strands. Late night, packing a bowl while I sit down, trying to keep my passion controlled. I know I get loud, thick clouds of smoke about to float. Trying to drown out the letters to the sound and notes. Everybody got a method, just be get through life. And everybody feeling pressure just to get through right. Don't get violent through the dark, you may hit through light and lose the sun for more years than your kids would like. And everybody's got fears that could egg you like. How would I live without beer and a cigarette? How do I live without you here every single night? I've lost reason to go on, you wanna bring you life, and that's the way it goes. Money is the way it grows. A whole nation through the pavement, yeah, we facing lows. And I ain't even got the gas just to make it go. Money always draining in the bank, trying to take it slow. But when I do, suddenly I gotta speed up. Your subtleties are trouble me, quit telling me to ease up. Feet is off the ground, why you telling me to reach up? Burning all around when there's jealousy a heat up. I got a method just to get through life, and everybody feeling pressure just to get through right. Tell me what is left but continued sights of these offset people who ain't did you right, yeah. I know the pessimism game, I know the optimism too, so I've set a different lane. It's the one in the middle of a temporary flame that is burning with a dream of contemporary fame. With talent on the bill, but the modesty to match it. To balance out the real, give your honesty some practice. Challenge what you feel if you wanna feed the masses. Tell me how to build when you wanna leave your ashes. Legacy in tune, with my credits being tuned. Rap feeding off college and I'll let it be consumed. Parents let me speak, but wouldn't let me be a brood. Little snot-nosed brat, so respect for me is huge. You gotta understand that my weaponry is shrewd. As a woman, I am practical when stepping in the booth. Everybody's got a method, most are stretching for the truth, and others get by just by stretching out the roof.
Appleton.
You've got me on a string.
Rap night.
Appleton. Appleton.
Got me on a string.
Appleton.
Appleton.
Yeah, no, so do that again. Do that again and be like, oh, hurry up in there.
Come on, dude. Come on. Hurry up. Come on.
Let's turn this guy. All right, hurry. Let's go. Seriously,
Okay, all right, go.
enough of that.
Yeah. Hurry up in there.
Hey, whatever. Yo, girl, what's up? What's happening?
Oh, hi, sweetheart. How you doing tonight?
I'm
You like a girl with a nice looking lady like me, big boy?
You're leaving some shit on my face, girl. Yo, so how much for this?
$25.
That's kind of steep, ain't it?
You fucking cheap prick. Oh, I know you. I fucked your father in this very same bathroom. Okay, I'll fuck you for $5, you tall glass of semen sucker.
Appleton.
Appleton.
Keep an eye on the tempo. Let's get a groove going, guys.
Ready, set, lit to go. Liquid, twisted, from fist to flow. Bet you didn't know it was a misfit though. Bringing some heat to the cold logistics snow. Oh yeah, I'll take it there. Make the earthquake just to shake the snare. For Christ's sakes, I might make Mike Flake stop working, make a cackle and get their drum breaks repaired. Sorry if the speed is surprising. Slacking cats like I'm always steady supplying it. With so much flavor, no chance of denying it. 2 rhymes in a shame game better be rising. From the attic to the basement, I'm an addict when I'm facing some flavor and need a lacing. Clean placement.
It's the flow flipper, not a toe dipper. Show up, no promo, show ripper.
inside your skull gripper. See, never have I ever had the mind for the gold digger punch, can't roll with it. Devastating, more breaking, breathtaking. Michael J. Fox and head bobbling, neck breaking. You follow your lead shaking. You levitating, ventilating, smelling my bread baking. Grab with the balls of a go-getter. Drum sound smoother than a mole liquor. Stepping to the task like a stale shimmer. I'm the bear better compared to you, man. You the bear with her. Guarantee you, sir, if you ever leave your beats around me, then I'm gon' bear in her.
Expose ghosts with the dopest of flows. Get the dough, hit the door. Add Shane up in Maine, get more Pete Dan, cause the gang came changing the game since your whole crew been lame. So-called spring came, French bread, bring pain and herbal. My pants ink stain, old school sin shames, my shit been Maine and rural. My whip is dirty, rancid, the people's douche and champion. Never lamped in the sand, couple grand in my head, getting tan with the fam in the Hamptons. Ask Samson. I got that penmanship equemini all over the lines. Now the pigs want a breathalyze.
A fresh surprise, look what happens when a session rise. Nonetheless, some of the best comprised. Beware we're coming through, just be warned it's up to you. Take this shit or leave it all steaming when I hit a break even.
We want it more than you, we can't afford to lose. You sort of busters unaccustomed to the fortitude.
Your grandmother's gazebo, and you're listening to Appleton Radio.
I'm Mike Rich. Shoutouts to HBTK. This is the Appleton Radio Show. Thank you for tuning in.
Appleton.
You know, I'm
Appleton.
That all shit. No doubt.
In the winter it gets chilly, still we're doing our thing. In the springtime it's fresh like the music we bring. And in the summer we hot to death, sweating from heat. In the fall we do it all, catch a wreck from a leak. Because we season like spice on racks. Add a flavor to every bite, we nice like that. Y'all can play us anytime or see us on our grind every day.
It's like
all
this,
year,
y'all.
we're all season.
Cause in the winter when it's cold, I'm keeping it hot. I'm living dope at the show with the fever of cop. Watching snow can't ever seem to slow my pace. So while foes hibernate, I get fly on tape. Break ground like the blade of an ice pick and cater to your taste with the flavorful spices. Maneuver through muds, avoiding the slumps. Smoking Buddha at a blunts and making music to bump.
Don't front, I got you open like the window when the air is fresh. Bringing up the weather's picking up, so yo, I can't stress. The sun's out at 70. The pure growth is steady, see? Rising from the ground, providing oxygen and energy. That's why I'm breathing better. I'm outside now. Plus the suckers on the court, son, they know my style. I get busy with plenty of flavors like Ben and Jerry all season. Consistent with the shit that's necessary.
In the winter it gets chilly, still we're doing our thing. In the springtime it's fresh like the music we bring. And in the summer we hot to death, sweating from heat. In the fall we do it all, catch a wreck from a leak. Because we season like spice on racks. Add a flavor to every bite, we nice like that. Y'all can play us anytime or see us on our grind every day, all year, we're all season.
Now it just gets hotter as the year moves on. When all these other cats slack, we premiere new songs. Strong under pressure, still I'm out of control. And it's hot, so girls expose most their bodies at shows. Yo, y'all know I stay on my grind. Doesn't matter what the season, week, day of the time. I formulate lines on stage, I shine. Cause I make beats complete with the way that I rhyme.
And my designs, I take them to class, so don't skip. Cause kids fail when grades fall, so focus. Take notice, the young teacher still, I'm just a student who's been studying the sciences on how to keep it moving. Never falling off like leaves, I'm pulling all night leaves. Breaking out my bag of tricks, street tracks nicely. Never hang around those who act too shysty. Give thanks cause we nice, whether hot or icy.
In the winter it gets chilly, still we're doing our thing. In the springtime it's fresh like the music we bring. And in the summer
Appleton.
we hot to death, sweating from heat. In the fall we do it all, catch a wreck from a leak. Because we season like spice on racks. Add a flavor to every bite, we nice like that. Y'all can play play us anytime or see us on our grind. Every day, all year, we're all season.
Appleton.
All season.
Yeah.
Appleton Radio Show. That's the Ot Cousteau, Jay Carrot and Mike B.
All season, man.
All season off that tour EP. They got the full project coming out here pretty soon. Prior to that, you heard the joint with myself, Shane Rise, and Spose called 21 Pigs Want to Breathalyze.
Pigs want to breathalyze.
Pigs Want to Breathalyze. I think 21's the track. I'm just a little bent.
That's fine. It's your birthday, man. You don't have to be paying attention to close details like that, man.
Yeah, but regardless, you know, we got a good start to the show, and wanted to go ahead and send another congratulations out to the fellas from Trails who, you know, worked out the Kickstarter that they got much more than what they anticipated of getting. You know, we're able to get not only a feature from Cool G Rap, but also from Shaheem. And, I mean...
Coming real soon, and yeah, pretty psyched about all this.
Exactly.
And they dropped the first track to the Kickstarter backers this week.
Right. Anybody that contributed also got this email of this track, so you may have heard it already.
Anvils and Pianos.
Yeah, and I believe this is also the title of the album that's coming out as well, right?
That's correct. It's the title track, man. So a lot of people.
Well, yeah, let's get right into it, man. This is brand new Trails here on the Appleton Radio Show. Anvils and Pianos. Check them out Tuesday night. Coming through with Dre Sr. for the cover-to-cover of Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z. So, yeah, stick around. It's going to get it going here real soon.
Let's go.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is...
Don't go running off a cliff, you better watch your back. Inanimate objects coming down with a crash. Inexplicable madness, violence is worth a laugh. In this infinite sadness, at least we still have that. Don't go running off a cliff, you better watch your back. Inanimate objects coming down with a crash. Inexplicable madness, violence is worth a laugh. In this infinite sadness, at least we still have that. It's the master of ceremonies, stick figure territory. Inner exploratory rhymes in laboratories. You know my man, he said it fine, it's like he said it for me. It stays undefined, so don't put mine in no category. So quick to call it, skip it all, cause I'm appalled about it. If I recall it right at all, then how could I allow it? I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury, just an eyewitness, innocent bystander, minding my business, making it my business to call it how I see it. And game recognize game again, oh Jesus Christ, I might have to fight through all the fronting and fiending for a name and the need to call it something. Intentions and motives are equally questionable. Non-authentic knockoffs are unmentionable. Organic vegetable hip-hop that's homegrown, still rocking it long after you've gone home.
Acme Batman outfits. Guaranteed for the life of the user.
Yo, how'd you test for this subject? Somebody give me a topic. Keep trying to put a label on it and maybe it'll profit. The thought of it's obnoxious. Raised in little boxes. Streets littered with people and hills sprinkled with houses. There's no rite of passage and there ain't no how-to classes. The quality is suffering to see who does it fastest. Your window's already closed, see your dream as it crashes. You should reinvent yourself before you're out on your asses. I'm never out of practice. My only routine is dropping anvils and pianos on MCs in my sleep. I got a 9-to-5 job that robs me of my time, just like everybody else, but we don't need nobody's help now. We get along, we get it wrong, we get it right, we get it all. That's how we like it. It's what we need so we can write these songs. And if something's wrong with that, then hey, I'm on the wrong planet. I'm ahead of my time, man. No rewinds, a man. Don't go running off a cliff. You better watch your back. Inanimate objects coming down with a crash. Inexplicable madness, violence is worth a laugh. In this infinite sadness, at least we still have that. See, I beat around the bush and I try to keep it vague, but most they want the work done for them, and that's okay. I don't always want to think, sometimes I just want to drink. A temporary escape from feeling trapped and on the brink. So this goes to those who always ask and want to know what I expect from this. They ask me what my motive is, and yo, I don't know if it's innocent good intention, but I don't really care. I'm not here for the warm reception. I'm straight with just the occasional favorable mention. I'm taking down fences, good and all. bringing balance. I'm the opposite of rich, whack, average, ass bread. Probably tell you that it don't matter. No label, no topic, don't need it, don't knock it. I do it for myself and those who don't let me stop it. The lin is in the cockpit, I'm your co-autopilot. Dropping Acme products on your head from the skies. Don't go running off a cliff, you better watch your back. Inanimate objects coming down with a crash. Inexplicable madness, violence is worth a laugh. In this infinite sadness, at least we still have that. Don't go running off a cliff, you better watch your back. Inanimate objects coming down with a crash. Inexplicable madness, violence is worth a laugh. In this infinite sadness, at least we still have that.
That's what it is. Sheer genius. Well, back to the old drawing board.
Appleton.
Appleton. What up, man? Quiet now, bro. Let's go.
Hit a seven heads, y'all niggas sleeping, I mean dirt naps. I ain't talking about a fucking bed. Talking Billy Bob on my sling blade shit. Caught you fucking up the game when I came out my shed. And I aim to kill you with it. Holla tip flow, hit it, feel you with it. You can be against it. I'ma keep rubbing on your pussies till you're hot and ready. I mean till you with it. You could get with this or get with that. I've been a black sheep on a staring hi-hat. If I Snoop Dogg, then I rat-a-tat-tat. I ain't talking about no movie or no online chat. You know what I mean, I'm as hard as I seem. Have you singing falsetto, no tray, it's not a dream. It's just me and my team in the back of the lack running a train on your lady, got the car full of steam. Big black caboose in the back of your hag. I know a mitt like I just got tagged. Bitch, I've been married, but my parties get staggered. If you niggas fly, then my shit lag. Y'all niggas sound like tricks. No, not the rapper, you're sweet like cakes. Or maybe you're a hostess, baby. Bring me to my table, I'ma eat your fucking food like you brought me a plate. And I ain't leaving no tip, might leave you on the far side with a fat lip. Just keep passing me by playing hip hop, scotch jumping over number one, bitch, I'm tired of getting skipped. I ain't been whipped unless you gave me a ride. I'ma do it big till the day he's alive. That on earth means that he left hell, became an angel, or I'm rapping like this till the day that I die. Hush, hush. I know I'm the best, you ain't gotta say a word. Hush, hush. Keep it on the low, ain't nobody gotta know it. Hush, hush. I know I'm the best, you ain't gotta say a word. Just keep whispering, everybody's listening. It'll kill him dead. Y'all niggas sleeping, I mean dirt naps. I ain't talking about a fucking bed. Talking Kevin Spacey on my 7 shit. Don't look in that box, you gon' find your wife's head. But you ain't gon' shoot nobody. You just crying ass while I shoot your hottie. Your niggas so full of shit, it's leaking out your diapers exploding. Thought I told you little bastard to use your potty. How many years I gotta train till I get Alzheimer's or I go insane? Just keep easing down the road till you finally meet the wizard. I'ma give you heart and courage, but your girl giving brain. Click your fucking heels, get out my face before your eyes puff like you just got mace. I'm big black, rob you niggas for your Mary J. Mac in your ear. Now your niggas got feet before the music shit. I've been a bad boy. When I birth a rapper, I get mad joy. Passing out cigars, taking pictures, all excited right before I whip your motherfucking ass like I just had a boy. And I'm here to race you fuckers. Been 20 years, I still amaze you fuckers. You could be nice, but you gon' need God, Jesus Christ, and 12 disciples before I praise you fuckers. Let the church say amen. I know I was the best before the hook came in. I seen you and your team in some tight jeans, looking and acting like a bunch of women trying to convince they men. Switch, baby girl, you look great. You're always with that nigga. Is that your me? The niggas was born and raised in Maine. Now you're rapping talk like you're from New York. New York cat bitch, is that your state? Hush, hush. I know I'm the best, you ain't gotta say a word. Hush, hush. Keep it on the low, ain't nobody gotta know it. Hush, hush. I know I'm the best, you ain't gotta say a word. Hush, hush. Just keep whispering, everybody's listening. I think that's the one.
Appleton.
It's your boy Philly Gay. Let's go. Spark it up. Let me talk about it. Have a drink. Let me talk about it. Sit back or take a walk. Let me talk about it. Get round, it's going down. We gon' talk about it. Spark it up. Let me talk about it. Have a drink. Let me talk about it. Sit back or take a walk. Let me talk about it. Gather round, it's going down. We gon' talk about it. Been dealing with pain for a long time. Mentally and physically, it's been like a long grind. Waiting on hell, which I could tell has a long line. Dealing with this burden like a nigga got a strong spine. Speaking like I'm 40, you could tell I got a grown mind. Floated through the summer with the hunger and the strong high. No lie, I mean I am here now. Hands down, the illest MC on this head ground. Dear Earth, consider this a dear John. I'm gone, I'll be back when we could get along. But for now, I gotta move it on. Cause the aura that I'm getting seems awkward. So I'm off this, let's spark this. Spark it up, let me talk about it. Have a drink, let me talk about it. Sit back or take a walk, let me talk about it. Gather round, it's going down, we gon' talk about it. Spark it up, let me talk about it. Have a drink, let me talk about it. Sit back or take a walk, let me talk about it. Gather round, it's going down, we gon' talk about it.
That's SANFORD.
Cynical clinic stop. 2 minutes to finish provision with identical vitamins and minerals. Criminal stuff. Minister enough. Puffed out serum solution. For a rough outline to diagram your minimal contribution. Your typical rut. Gut twisted, still life, missed affection and love. The ill will spreads the detriments of society. Dismissed the kinship from above and battle sobriety. I'm not the dawn, demon spawn. Pawn iron rod horizon. Heathen thought process gone wrong. Tantalizer, lines in limbo, grasping, waning. In defiance, green giant, jollow, holly nose, molly tyrants that kills cats, snaps, vertebrates. Leave you in alleyways midday. Initiate melee and improper conduct as a conduit of antagonism. Keeping all promises, death to the wish, mishap of scattered rhythms. I batter children of parents, chemical awareness, variants of scarce variables, able to enhance appearance. To the mass media, task easier to accomplish when focused on apocalypse. My vision dark, anonymous, eliminating problems, it's obvious. The odd pauses on conversation, conjugate statements, cause and effect, constant persuasion. The odd pauses on conversation, conjugate statements, cause and effect, constant persuasion.
Are you serious?
The big question mark. Smart intellect, dark complexion, partly perplexing, density altering immensely. You prepared to start, predestined, accelerating, sharp drop off. Test me. The skylark gray, bird's mouth braggarts, rolling sidecars, infer on girls and haggard. Merle, stagger worldly possessions, sustain elements, deviate septums with substances, slowly draining intelligence. Twin heads rise constantly to not approval. Raw, neutral, indisputable, the caravan is brutal. A long march, mouth parched, dust in the cut. Blacken walks down that path. Last to hear the whispers, first to feel the wrath. Reanimation dating back to prehistoric, cataclysmic, loose, super subatomic drama added prison visits. Missing link, key up to sequence, monotone meander through this decibel drivel. I keep the heads on rotate, swivel, little increments revealing the riddle. Temperature template, we dwell where the dust gets thick, on the collarbone of android replicates. That small space, officially expanded crawl space, tall beyond all races. Rap marathon withdrawal, a ball stare cats down, write poems, smoke prawn kite. Rock show victims on the wind whip orange stormfront accumulating on the horizon. Dreamweaver, disbeliever, deceiver of the public eye end. Pierce clitoris, Pied Piper, mischievous capturing the ride type character. Stalk slowly in large circles. Ciphers, stealing lighters, replacing darkness where the light was. The odd pauses on conversation. Conjugate statements, cause and effect, constant persuasion. The odd pauses on conversation. Conjugate statements, cause and effect, constant persuasion.
And you were attacked and robbed. How many men? 4. And 2 men?
Persuasion. Odd Awful, 2002. Infinite Conscious, Dawn Knots.
What? Whatever. Take a fucking Originally I said I backhanded the devil in the end.
don't get invited to weddings, stupid. I'm the last square standing in a rainbow Rubik's. Who's the mutant shooting hookah hits a Cupid, huh? I'm still waiting for the day the clueless gets muted, huh? Booted to another moon with no human genre. Fear is my friend, my favorite pet mantra. Walking on lava on my way to Colorado, where the medicine is legal, all the girlies are Madonnas. Gee, I sure hope my little record doesn't pop up. I'm the Pop-Tart that popped up and got gnawed up by the dog. Ah, shucks, blame it on the mojo, baby. I swear you're gonna drive me crazy. Slow down, we're about to hit a straitjacket. They'll send us straight back into the gates of hell, Batman. Me and Satan go way back even centuries. I saved it from the flames of sway before we made dispensaries. Don't know my high, know my low. Don't know why, but I just know. Don't know my high, know my low. Don't know why, but I just know. My bones are made of life, guts, and love. My skeleton will never break as long as I can wake 'em up. As long as I can wake 'em up. My skeleton will never break as long as I can wake 'em up.
Up to this point, my whole life's been practiced. I better kick the bucket right before I cash in. Traveling at the speed of passion, unraveling, only to find that at the end of the tunnel, there's just more blackness. My promise is to electrocute your eye sockets and use that rapper chain for my new bike sprocket. Tried to sell me your CD before I even met your mom. I know my lows better than the feet of Peter Tong. I'm a hobgoblin rocking a show with a snow cone, driving a toboggan in a snow globe just for show though. Looking for Janis Joplin on an open road with the Rolos. Put my hand out the coffin, thanks for stopping, but I gotta go. So leave an offering of goat milk that's so silk. Before I leap right on, yeah, that coke deal like an old film. Ain't it tragic when even traffic won't hit you? I believe in magic like an addict without issues.
Don't know my high, know my low. Don't know why, but I just know. Don't know my high, know my low. Don't know why, but I just know.
My bones are made of life, guts, and love. My skeleton will never break as long as I can wake him up. As long as I can wake him up, my skeleton will never break as long as I can wake him up.
When waking up's the hardest part of starting you, part of me likes giving up cause honesty is hard to prove. There's lots to choose from in this crazy game of hearts to bruise. I start to lose my patience when vacation is too far from view. I wanna move but I don't know if my van works, so give me a train ticket straight out of New Hampshire. I've been searching for the answer to a problem that I face. How are there so many people with which I don't know how to relate? Hey, they're rushing to their own deaths without stopping to check their Rolex. No sense in color them out without a master's degree in phone sex, but don't fret. Some people were born to die, of course I'm high and higher, learning a higher purpose and a good reason to kiss the sky. I'm lonely since the ground can really only hold me down. All of these smiling faces should be bound to form a frown. If leaving town could be the reason not to drown, then kindly move aside until my paradise is found.
Don't know my high, know my low. Don't know why, but I just know. Don't know my high, know my low. Don't know why, but I just know.
My bones are made of life, guts, and love. My skeleton will never break as long as I can wake them up. What? As long as I can wake them up. My skeleton will never break as long as I can wake them up. Yeah.
unable to learn. I can't explain the essence of man. We're artless, often heartless. Never had a clue from the start. Some portray as preachers, giving boring speeches. My ears are wide to the knowledge that reside in my teachers. You ain't found a problem, look deeper. Be awake inside the world for the deep sleepers. And angry men beating women cause they say they can. And ladies wishing they can die, just be born again. Heart torn again by another man they trusted. Fell in love and in return she was only lusted. Heartbroken just to get her legs open. He fed her lies, had to hope until he spurred her thighs. Get her high, just another sick initiation. Brought her the streets and with the wrong type. Only a teen but lived a long life. Sink and swim, desperately she dances for him. To make it cash flow cause certainly your chances were slim.
How could you have done me so wrong?
Don't even worry girl cause the tables will turn. Give me the pass, go round the clock, circling blocks. Ain't nothing sacred, her only purity smothered in hatred. Lying and naked with bloodhounds who manage to take advantage. And the scars you can't bandage. Twisted thoughts, perversion, sexual plots, disgracing a women over sick temptation. She'll never love again. Now she'll use men in retreat. She been molested, date raped and sold to the streets, which y'all expected. You shitted on her, used her, then jetted on her. Left her in this sweltering state. Another loss of a life separated in fate. Another straight A student educated in hate. She walks a thin line, treasured every pleasure in crime. Once a victim, she'll be the victimizer in time. She learned the hard way, thought she had her heart locked up. Until surprisingly she met the men who possessed the key.
How could you have done me so wrong?
Don't even worry, girl, cause the tables are turned.
After you have loved me so long.
Love is a lesson that some are unable to learn. She never doubted him, swore it was real. At first sight, she was hypnotized. Weeks later, they started a fight. It was small things, nothing serious, she would think. Until he pushed her and split her head while in the sink. But she forgave him, thought it never happened again. Till she walked in and gazed upon him, tapping the frame. Out of frustration and pain, she started to cry, no hesitation. Brutally, he blackened her eye. She started pulling the hair, just wishing that he would die groping. On the floor with the bedroom door open, tears soaking down her cheek. She couldn't speak, but just stare in despair with some emptiness there. It took years, but Lord blessing, she finally left him, feeling threatened that he would take her life in a second. She let the law handle it, restraining orders were filed. Couldn't believe it when she found out she was having his child. The question is, now what is she to do with the kid? She never liked abortion, so she followed through with the shit. Another single mother with a fatherless son, all alone and forced to raise the boy in her own.
How could you have done me so wrong?
Don't even worry, girl, cause the tables are turned.
After you have loved me so long.
Love is a lesson that some are unable to learn.
How could you have done me so wrong?
Don't even worry, girl, cause the tables are turned.
After you have loved me so long.
Love is a lesson that some are unable to learn.
Appleton.
Appleton.
Incapacitated, glad I made it past the hatred, the caffeinated, animated, painted, sacred, ancient misplacement, get patient and patience. I made it to make sense, occasional face tint, vocation that pays rent, the cake to decay friends, the fake I'll display trends, I make them all play dead. He's bound to crack, heathens, bitches, thieves, knack, heavy bombs they'll carry. Heaters been teaching kids how beats don't crash, beats don't crash, beats don't crash. Hash blunts, tree crime, had but 3 kinds. Holy blood that curdles, heaven bound. 10 kilometers, hurdles, bounce. 13 kills, hit buttons, dirty caliber. 30 caliber, hunt big thirsty cakes. Hate being this cool, has been Tagger King. Half bent, data kid, that's it, pass split.
Shit, you don't want it. So I should take it. At least hold off wants to take it.
Looking forward to the outside, the sky is creeping in. The recent binges taking twilight, too high to see a thing. Beat putting us speeds and minutes, tick-tock on needles, pins as we get lost on pieces, drift off so guitar can begin. Take a free shot, my options are open but closing steadily. I own my destiny and choose the only path ahead of me. It's this shit, the sequence, the beat blends. Steal a loop and eat the proof, become safe by chopping up that drum break. Truncate and split with some lungs caked in split resin. Better at progressing when I'm in it. No second guessing this shit. No second guessing this shit. Just it gets better when I'm in it. Just when I'm in it.
y'all hip hop elitists.
That's you. I know you're listening somewhere.
Thinking in the box, you can't even got. You think everybody else is just whack? Y'all fuckers whack. Always arguing about, oh, this is hip hop, this is hip hop. Oh, nah, shut the hell up. Hip hop's supposed to be about self-expression. And you just fucking staying in the box. Shut the hell up.
Now I don't care about the words coming from another. I hear them talking, claiming how I never ever come up. Cause I've been dropping from a start they can't cop. Indiscriminate when I be ripping pitiful rats to claim I'm spitting. But I don't listen to the feelings they be spilling. My passion is right in it, they passion is misgiven. So I spill a few comments regardless if they be finding my lyrics a piece of shine. And that's a hell of a time, cause I can laugh right in it. Forever know I'm home, cause I keep whatever honest. But you already know, they told me that you really can't get down. I flip the funky script and I don't care if they frown. So I be laughing at the problems from the idioms they have. I'm like, you really shouldn't do it cause it's something you don't. And man, it's limits like that be keeping them froze. So when you living out your life, always know that you won't. I gotta laugh when I hear them. They talking like fools, they all lost to the end. It's gotta laugh at the words. They talk is all comical with every verse. I gotta laugh when I hear them, they talking like fools, they all lost to the end. It's gotta laugh at the words. They claim it's all comical with every verse. And so it's back to my everything, the reason why I'm having problems. Cause I be rhyming with a style that won't get abolished. Cause I don't care about the old school, new school, and every limitation that they follow like some old fools. Well, I be packing with a dose of herbal medicine. They hating and it's evident, they hating must be effortless. Well, they be laughing, never getting what I'm doing. They don't comprehend the lyrics, so I blew right through them. Cause I be facts like I know you, back like a phase. I've been cast to the side cause I never relate. But it don't matter if you comprehend it. Go ahead and listen to it, bump the shit back and get the whole crowd ripping to it. Hoping that you can learn to develop a feeling for the rhythm. I'll be dealing for another second, but it don't matter with the finest of words. Get the feelings off my chest no matter if you observe. I gotta laugh when I hear them. They talking like fools, they all lost to the end. It's gotta laugh at the words. They talk is all comical with every verse. I gotta laugh when I hear them. They talking like fools, they all lost to the end. It's gotta laugh at the words. They claim it's all comical with every verse. So when you hearing this, don't claim that I'm inferior. The days that I've been giving's just another time area. And I've been thinking about my finest of days, but so many y'all critique every word that I say. So I've been thinking how to move along, living out my life in songs, sleeping through the nights, the only goal that I've been focused on. If that's a problem, how you feel about that? When I've been dealing with your issues when I'm scribing this track. Cause I don't care what you've been saying or the game that you've been playing, but it's just a simple fact that you've been holding my life. And I've been tired of your lipping, you be flapping in sight. Go ahead and focus on you know, go ahead and live out your life. It's so comical, you can't grow, you too undeveloped. You tangled by your own thoughts, can't move together. The days ticking, I've been living my path. But how you feeling about your own when your journey is masked? I gotta laugh when I hear them. They talking like fools, they all lost to the end. It's gotta laugh at the words. The talk is all comical with every verse. I gotta laugh when I hear them. They talking like fools, they all lost to the end. It's gotta laugh at the words. The claim is all comical with every verse. I gotta.
Y'all are killing me.
Yeah. We're back. It's Appleton Radio. We're going in deep on a Wednesday rap night. We just wanted to recap a couple tracks we played. Phi Comical is what you just heard. Before that, All Imbecile HBTK. Yeah, feel free to talk. Don't worry about it. We're just talking to people. Yeah, you don't have to be super quiet. We got a room full of hooligans that we're gonna get into with it soon.
Indeed.
Wait. We also had Poverty, My Symphony of Sorrow. Before that, All Imbecile track, and then brand new Ecid and Primate, along with I9. Don't Know My High.
Yeah, indeed. And you know, before that, we had the Mike B joint that was affiliate over Mike B instrumental called Let Me Talk About It. And yeah, man, just really excited to be hitting you guys with a bunch of music. We got a bunch of people here. You know, the main guest tonight is the homie Learn, HBTK, old school all day. legendary graph writers in the building, and real happy
just crawling right now with graffiti, everything, history,
pictures from '93 being passed around, and stories, and honestly, so we're going to be talking to those guys later. We just want to hit you guys with a bunch of music out the gate and keep it moving. Also, another shout out to the Jaw Gems, just another track off their EP called Sunfight.
Yeah, why not? Show them some love.
Of course, yeah, definitely. So, we're going to get back into music. We got more stuff lined up. What are we going to go out with right now?
Man, because Mr. Michael Clouds is at rap night tonight, we are going to get into the High School Revenge off the Blown Speaker project featuring KGB.
Oh,
Sin
definitely.
Shames. Just one of my favorite tracks. We probably have overplayed it, but I do not give an F.
No, not at all, man. This is a great joint. Real happy to get into it. And there's more coming up. We're going to let it run for a little bit, but after that, we got Merc and Jedi with So Tired. Big shout out to Works. Homie Mr. Works, One Jedi Ounce, also Mike and Dynamo P with Corey Woods. After that, we got Colby Stills, Getting High, produced by Mike B. And then we're going to hit you guys with a Sandbag joint called Book of Verse. So make sure you guys stick around to the Appleton Radio Show. We're going in hard with a bunch of great writers, so make sure you guys stay tuned.
Cause back in school, we were the leaders of it all. Back in school, calling in bomb threats. Up in some ass, not in class. Setting fire to the bathroom.
Appleton.
Smoking cigarettes.
Appleton.
This is the revenge. So superficial are these real hard ways. Spent my school days dodging blows all day. Defense mode locked was a shit talk probably. You could always find me on the block with an army. Still trying to harm me regardless of small shit. I was kinda small so I never tried to start shit. It was all them jock kids who acted like that, with the Letterman jackets and the dirty white hats and their cars and their clothes, the sports and the team. I dealt with them all by the time I'm 15. Till then no one liked hip hop back in school. My sophomore year was a marketing tool, and I already had a CD, so now I'm like an OG. And now when they see me, they act like they all know me. Wanna buy me drinks, man, I ain't no sucker. Don't think that I forgot about you punk motherfuckers. How you treated people like me back then, but now it's all love, cause I got more friends. Money on the venue, so what's on the menu? I'm serving up cold revenge for what we've been through. You can thank clouds for that blown speaker. I'm Sin, KGB's on school like beavers, doing this shit for the students and the teachers. Had to remind you that you couldn't reach us. Fuck you on the words it should've read right under my senior picture, but instead I wasn't in the book that year, and y'all fear you're gonna see me soon. It's almost been 10 years. I know the truth hurts, but you skirts never did dirt. I put in mad work while y'all were rocking Gap shirts. It's backwards if you were to ask me. Unheard of, I murder, don't put it past me. To put it politely, if y'all invite me, pick out the shiesty ones and make them fight me. But saying it nicely, these suckers entice me. Keep trying to bite the original G like Ice-T. If I had iced teeth, even though it ain't my style, they would read fuck you every time I crack a smile. So fuck you for all the times you tried to knock my clothes. Fuck you for all the cheap shots and low blows. Cause now we're all grown and I'm seeing everyone. And I've seen the needle and I've seen the damage done. And all the true colors, crisis for identity. Look at me, take a good look and remember me. Remember this fucking face, cause in a couple of years I'll be shipping out and I'll be switching up careers. I'll probably have enough money to come back here and make a couple of old enemies suddenly disappear.
What do you want to do with your life? What kind of long-term goals can you possibly have?
Well, I mean, you can thank clouds for that blown speaker. I'm Sin, KGB's on school like beavers, doing this shit for the students and the teachers. Had to remind you that you couldn't reach us. Fuck you on the words it should've read right under my senior picture, but instead I wasn't in the book that year, and y'all fear you're gonna see me soon. It's almost been 10 years.
Appleton.
Shit. I'm so tired of being alone.
This verse alone could do to college. Through the garbage, I learned to stand tall with deep roots. I can't fall. Sway in the wind, or L stand sure. Grabbing my pants, but can't call the situation. Knowing it's leading to prison visitations. No boundaries, dome holes, no limitations. Envision Satan in the form of man. Of course, it's the plan to play the cards I was dealt to force your hand. These rhymes are weed scented. I caught grams and pump diesel. I ain't talking about motor fuel for the dumb people. Enlightened with no motivation in life. Mind the scars from being raised by a knife. I pray at night for a better living. Instead of sleeping on floors. Losing weight from not eating, stress seeps through my pores. When it comes to females, 1 out of 3 is a whore. Just peep, but I'm sure like coke, what I'm speaking is raw. Keep it in store, volume 1 of my life story. My associates is only niggas that'll fight for me. Sight glory, with no fear in my heart. Ready for death, cause I shed too many tears in the dark.
Hey yo, I had it up to here when people judging how I choose to live. Question who I influence and other sorts of stupid shit. Now I just take a deep breath to clear my brains. Shrug it off my shoulders and remain to lead the game. King from Portland, Maine, once home with a pouring plane. Bring immigrants to the state and push mothers out Section 8. Ain't even racist, but bring it close to that level. I'm just speaking for the families that were here for years and settled. Played by Geppetto, tossed into the wilderness. Asked for a helping hand, but nobody gives a shit. At the age of 5 years old, realized the world is cold. Poor kids at Christmas don't even receive cold. With all the pressure that they're going through, makes a diamond in the rough. Before they even make it to their teens, addiction is a crush. Harshness of reality, children see fatalities and casualties. This is at the point where it saddens me. Grow up in the street and repeat the same tragedy. Beasts let them feast, now they preach fallacy. I feel like I'm an Alice's dream, the way the day twists. I bet a lot of places still cats out some space.
I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of being on my own. Won't you help me? Oh, won't you help me? I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of being on my own. Won't you help me? Oh, won't you help me? I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of being on my own. Won't you help me? Oh, won't you help me?
Appleton.
Smack that look off your face, I stay wildin'. From Peter Staten Island, masked up, never smiling. Witty, unpredictable, raw, chucked up foreign cars, world tours and grimy video shoots. A T on hot pursuit, to hand bopping loops. Eat lobster soup, you call it bisque. What's thicker than this? We crisp mix vodka with brisk. Swing harder than Carlton Fisk. Obnoxious spit from the compact disc. Sound like Jada Kiss, mostly flavorless. So savor this slang talk, surgical glove. Detergent and sludge for murder with slug. Snubs in the grass with his blood. Fake drugs selling flake. Fake talk to Jake couldn't handle the weight. Dismantle his fate. The rep is at stake. Dusty Bake, investigate what my pen demonstrates. From the Cuban Niagara, I tear down walls. I make the weak disperse. I hit them like the John Blaze verse. Criminology, street poet in a bubble. Goose and Tommy Hill sipping my wet on Sugar Hill. Booger chill. Young and trusty gun is getting itchy. And kids these days are quick to blame and ditch me. Real sure on who you speaking with is leaking. I stay freaking this like silk top, bill and milk. Feel no guilt these days, it's how we're built. Underneath my hoodie, new era, light tilt. The mic's killed, it's how we're built. Underneath my hoodie, new era, light tilt. The mic's killed, ice grill. The mic's killed, ice grill. Mobility, knowledge guard, dart from a lard. Skew it on a bar, murder mob, shell shock. Shallon's finest rhyme chemist. New York fly, Flemings, dope understood. Lex Diamonds, Corey Woods. Mobility, knowledge guard, dart from a lard. Skew it on a bar, murder mob, shell shock. Shallon's finest rhyme chemist. New York fly, Flemings, dope understood. Lex Diamonds, Corey Woods. Corey Woods. Corey Woods. Guilt these days is how we're built. Corey Woods. Feel no guilt these days is how we're built. Corey Woods. Feel no guilt these days, it's how we're built. Corey Woods. They feel the guilt these days, it's how we're built.
Appleton.
Hey. How you doing? Yeah. Hey. It's Mike B, C stilts, plus a few E pills, couple drops of Ciroc, time to get your refills. Different types of diesel, appreciate the weed smell. Leaking out the studio while we record the freestyle. Damn, didn't think we had it like that. The track is crack, I gotta have it in a half. Orlando Magic, pull a rabbit out the hat. Slam dunk raps, Mike pass beats behind the back. Really? Yeah, that's what we're doing now. Smoking mad weed, producing the truest sound. Never finished, probably run through 1,000 pounds. After shows get mad props and 1,000 pounds. Wow, my mind moves 1,000,000 miles an hour. Doing everything at once till I'm passing out. Aspirin or Advil, which one you passing out? Last night was mad real, take the sunglasses out. Shaded up, faded as fuck. Wake and bake, no need to take other drugs. Still stay high, higher learning I teach. And as long as we keep on making music, I'm gonna keep. Never battled with the bottle, but know how to drink. And get so tanked that I don't know how to think. One beer plus one shot equals 3 more. Plus a lot of weed, some coke, and me on the floor. Stupid, like who slipped me this Rufus? I gave it to myself, blamed others and played clueless. Stoned as Alicia, silver haze nudist. Puffin' skunk, blowing dank with the skank in the roofless. Ruthless, on the beat, show me where the booth is. House the track, shout out to Home Improvement. Tim Allen, been wildin' before year 2000. Penthouse and pimped out, cope engine orgasm. Can you fathom that? Baddest on the track, making girls breathe heavy like asthma attacks. Ha, yeah, I'm a real funny guy. As long as I can keep on, keep on, keep on. Yeah. Yo, Mike, what the fuck, man? Beat was crazy. We in here though, feeling good. Yeah, now pass that over here, brother. Yeah, here we go. Boy, Stilts, killing these beats, man. Can't get enough. We
Appleton
and drinking alcohol. Hell, motherfucking yeah. I don't want to grow up.
Appleton.
That's my tape. I made that tape. Now you should listen to that tape. That tape is all that. Shit. It's your loss, not.
Appleton.
Book of verse, song 1, we write rhymes to right wrongs. Bygones are bygones, but I'm gone with no retrieval. Medieval dark ages, contagious thoughts breaking, restraints at the round table. Sound save you, playful imaginations make for a new breakthrough. Disdainful cause painful regret and false label. Script a page full for the faithful, like sacred songs of angels that we play you.
The radio is trying to sell me static. I prefer healthy snacks and LP jackets. Study liner notes with a microscope for inspired quotes to sharpen my approach. In the zone at night, I'm always daydreaming. My only goal in life is to break even. Buyer's remorse, let the lies run their course. Like the torch, set fire to the core.
saving daylight, waking with the same plight. Middle class craftsman, emotional tolls they tax him. Family gets the grin, sleep gets neglected. Spouse just forget it. Fortress erected, Solomon's jewels imbued in the cerebral cortex. Explorers with torches curse they footsteps. Behold, treasures from the days of old, watered down and stripped of all their nutrients. New school rap music, tell me who you with. The slumdog overachiever or elitist rich kid. Playgrounds I'd run around and play bombardment. All the bullies guess I grew up to be just like them. Nah, I don't hate, I just cannot make friends. Though I keep the faith in these calloused hands, cashing in the IOUs in all of my solids. Launch a finer product and call it gentleman conduct.
Yo, I walk amidst all this hollowness, and all it is columns which represent the commonness. My glove is an honest fit, subconscious grips vivid colors to wake up the darkness in. The rocks have been casted inside of my glass house. Ugly dash hound who's sometimes known when you ask around, but as conceited as that sounds, yo, I'm grounded and humble, lazy, so my face is porcupine stubble. That's just the way the bees bumble, the way the needle breaks, mental feeble state until my soul just seeps away. That's why I write on sheets this way, to keep the creature at bay. I no longer sleep afraid, it's my version of how I preach and pray.
Appleton.
Cantankerous counterfeits out to get a good amount of it. Your favorite artists don't sing, they're just mouthing it. Smiling for the cameras cause they're so proud of it. Monumental achievements contested for no reason besides keeping the people sleeping so we can't see how they're eating. The beast is feeding off its seedlings. What happens when it stops breeding? And if you even question the rest, they suggest you're off the deep end, fantasizing about a chance of rising, tantalizing some of the samples, striving for the strike of a panther or lion. Introduction to new way of thinking, discussion, reproduction, reap the benefits, leave no evidence, read the messages perceived by the confessionals of professionals. The more you have, the less you know. Root bound, make way for the mayor of Toontown. Cynical savior is loose now.
Appleton.
You were rocking with Appleton Radio. This is your man Pensive. Incognito clandestine ciphers. If you don't know, now you know.
Yo, this is a fat white kid crip walking through a Walmart eating a Twix. This is his mom in the next aisle neglecting him while sending a text. This is a mirror to society. I already seen the truth, so you don't gotta lie to me. This is a skull behind a smiley face, the dark side that we all try to hide away. Join me as we open on a heavy-set bride as she cries on her wedding dress. Cheeks getting wet cause it's something she would never guess. Better yet, zooming on the bridesmaid. She fucked the groom 5 ways in the bride's driveway. No. Fast forward to the bride's suicide. I know a lot of sad adjectives and all of them apply. It's fucked up because she suffered then she dies. But for this woman it was just tougher to be alive. If you rewind, you'll see that there were other issues. In her bedroom clutching on a chunk of tissues. At 9 got touched by her Uncle Mitchell. It's a cold world, darker than some pumpernickel. And I'm not trying to bum you out or make you sad. I just think somebody ought to state the facts. It's cool, they don't even hear half the raps working on their swag. Let me tell you, buddy, this is a fat white kid crip walking through a Walmart eating a Twix. This is his mom in the next aisle neglecting him while sending a text. This is a mirror to society. I've already seen the truth, so you don't gotta lie to me. This is a skull behind a smiley face, the dark side that we all try to hide away. an old motel with the neon glowing as the raindrops fell, both from the sky and the eyes of the passengers inside a ride that arrived. The inhabitants, a mother and her 3 kids, running from a new husband who seemed to scream more than love him. Tonight, he said he'd burn the house down, kicked in the cupboard. They slipped out the back undiscovered. She said they get a hotel room and a pizza, watch TV, and take a breather. She went into the lobby and returned sick. She left her purse at the crib, hair matted to her face as the rain poured. Her kids huddled with her slithered to the back door. And I'm not kidding, he was sitting in the kitchen waiting to start hitting. This is what she won't say when you ask how's it going the very next day. And this is her kids doing well in school even though at home life was hell. This is a mirror to society. I've already seen the truth, you don't gotta lie to me. This is a skull behind a smiley face, the dark side that we all try to hide away.
Moshe, it's Cut Caper, man. I'm calling to find out what time you wanted to meet at the studio. I talked to Shade, and he said he can't be there till about 7:30.
Appleton.
Bustin' that wheel. Can you out the box, kid? Bustin' that wheel. Can you out the box? Bustin' that wheel. Can you out the box, kid? Bustin' that wheel. Can you out the box? 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 You wanna battle? Caper.
The sensation.
Level 1.
What the hell's going on here? Jeez, I thought we were almost finished. Good golly, Miss Molly.
Appleton.
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 You know we smoking. It's that Flanabis. Yeah, you know what it is. Well, this is that Flanabis. Wisdom. Yeah. Just let it sink in. Yeah, you feel that. I know you do. It feels good. It feels real good. The land of pine trees, they call it Maine. We all have beards, wear flannel, and sound the same. I live in Potland, I'm in love with Mary Jane. This is my happy home, the picture that I paint. If I may put a flame to a blunt and let it blaze, smoke it on the way. As we roll out to the bay, home isn't where you're from, but rather where you stay. So I put my feet up and chose to live in Maine. I work and pay taxes, smoke weed and make music. Relax to these tracks and perhaps lead a movement. Of my head in conclusion, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me smoke another bowl to get some vibes brewing. Hot box, the vocal booth, smoking on some cannabis. Only those potent strands. I hope you can handle this. I take a Dutch, I gut it and dismantle it. Rockin' flannel, rolling a blunt. I call it cannabis. Yeah. Told you. Whether a vaporizer, a vulnerable, a bong, a zoom to, a joint or a roach, we're gonna smoke. You got an eighth, I brought an ounce. Grind it up, roll it up, light it, and let's bounce. A 420 session, I'm stressing. This is my medicine, I feel better than ever. I'm stoned and it's evident, I love where I live. And I got a few reasons, I ain't talking about hotels when I say the Four Seasons. In the summertime heat, we burn L's on the beach. In the fall, we roll blunts, the ones with the leaf. I put snow in my bong and hibernate for the winter. I smoke flowers in the spring, roll up a gorilla finger. Safety meetings during work to keep me in check, so I don't get pissed off and grab that dude by the neck. I just smoke a little bit to deal with all this randomness. Rockin' flannel, rolling a blunt, I call it cannabis. Yeah. Wisdom. Come get high with me. Come on, come on, come on. Come get high with me. Here's wisdom with your local report. Today's forecast, hazy with a chance of hash. Maybe some knife hits, a pack up some glass. Pick your poison, Kim Bong ill, or Dr. Zoidberger, maybe the destroyer. Roman will destroy you. Just ask those before you. Prepare to start coughing. Welcome to the weed coma, aka the coffin.
Bro, I don't cough when I smoke.
Shut the fuck up, this ain't that swag stuff.
Yeah, but I puff top.
One hit and you're done, now cold like a drunk slut. Yeah, real smokers recognize poses and weed nuts. I smoke green nuts, and I ride the cannabis. High every day, watching people wave at us. Putting smoke in the air, we killed Smokey the bear. Starting fires with these trees, cause nobody cares. I'm so impaired, I gotta say I'm a fan of it. Rockin' flannel, rolling a blunt, I'm living cannabis. Justin Bale. Justin Bale, yeah. This is that Flanabis. This is that wisdom shit. Y'all fuck now. We high. We too high.
Okay. We are back and just gave you a gang load of Maine Hip Hop straight to your faces.
Indeed, and JT's never sound so creepy. But we're back here on the Appleton Radio Show. That was Wisdom with Flanabis. Prior to that, we had Good Golly Miss Molly, which was a duo scratch thing with DJ Shade and Cut Caper over a Moshe beat. Prior to that was Spo's Smiley Faces, and I gave you guys the rundown of all the songs we're playing up to that. So
yeah,
if you guys have been tuned in, we really appreciate you checking out all the music. And it's 8:15. Appleton Radio Show, and we're about to get into it with the homie Learn, HBTK all day here in the Appleton Radio Studio. What's good, Learn? How you doing, man?
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Very good, man. Very, very happy to have you. First things first, just for the listeners who may not be familiar, if they aren't aware of all the different parts of the culture, just give a breakdown of who you are and what you represent, if for the people that just don't know anything.
Anything?
Anything.
I write Learn, Why Me, Circle T, and always represent old school HBTK in Portland, Maine.
Yep.
SFL.
Yep.
I am originally from Northern California.
Yep.
I moved to Maine in the 90s, mid-90s. And I was already writing graffiti already. I started writing graffiti in 1989. I'm closer to 40 than I am 30. So,
How old were you when you started writing?
I was 14 years old.
Okay.
Wow. No doubt.
And I started tagging around my neighborhood.
And was it Learn back then you were tagging?
No, I originally wrote Heights. Because my family's all from Washington Heights, Manhattan.
Okay.
And they moved to California when they're hippies. And I was in love with New York City as a kid and always wanted to live there. And because I'd go back every summer and see graffiti on the subways. And this is like late 80s, 87, 86, all the way to 89. 86, they said 4 years in a row I went to New York. And I'd see graffiti. And then I went back to the Bay Area, California, and started seeing stuff popping up in the Bay Area, San Francisco, San Jose, Santa Cruz, where I'm from. And I just got me into it. And I started writing around my high school and around my neighborhood in late 89.
No doubt. So 89, and then basically you said from there it was early 90s, what, like 91, 92 when you actually made the voyage to Maine?
No, I didn't move to Maine till 95.
95.
Late
okay.
95.
All right.
I came here. I stayed here for about 5 or 6 months, and then I went back to California for a couple months, and then I from like probably 95 to 98, 99, I went back and forth.
Okay.
And then I've been
bombing everything in between.
Yeah. Oh, and then I've been permanently here since 99. But Maine is, I consider Maine, even though I'm from California, like my graffiti roots are in Maine.
Right.
And I love Maine.
No doubt. Now, when you came here, what portion of the state did you come to?
Say that again?
When you came to the state, like, were you living in Portland? Were you living?
I
in
actually originally
Maine?
lived in Lewiston.
Lewiston. Okay.
And it was crazy, man. I'm from California, and I went to Lewiston, and it was like culture. Well, no, because Lewiston then was African American.
Yeah.
It was really weird. I was Kennedy Park in Lewiston, and I was really weirded out, thinking that Maine was going to be all like mooses and
rednecks
and rednecks, and then I came down to Portland. I think Lewiston had more black people in Portland back then. But
definitely,
it was really weird, and I immediately started writing graffiti in Maine around summer '95, late '95 when I moved here.
No doubt. And so that's one of the things, because as you said, old school crew, HBTK. Initially, how did you make the connection? Because if you were in Lewiston, Rich is here in Portland, Ember's down in Sanford, all these other people are, GERV, you're here in Portland as well. So there's all these other people. But how did you get connected? And also, it's not. We were also talking about this earlier. It's not as mainstream as it wasn't back then as it is now. You can't just log onto a computer and look at all these styles.
Not at all.
You had to. So I'm wondering where was the connection there?
Yeah, I wrote graffiti from '89 till '96 almost without meeting more than one or two writers.
Right.
Nowadays people start writing within a month. They're on chat lines and Facebook on whatever all over the place, and they know like 20 writers and. I started coming down to Portland in early '96, and I met Case, HBTK.
Okay.
And he saw that I wrote, and back then it was such a small community of writers, like it was Burn, Rich, Case, Ascend, Self, and I didn't know like the younger kids like GERV and Sir, who wrote Sir, other stuff back then. I didn't know them; they were a lot younger.
Word,
but it was just us, and there was maybe like 5 to 10 riders in Portland, pretty much, and. I think Rich was in the service at the time,
right.
So everybody was talking about Rich, he's sick. Byrne was like, yeah.
Legendary.
Byrne was like, Rich is my partner, and Case was like, Rich, and I didn't know about him, and I didn't meet Rich till 2000.
Really?
So that's pretty crazy.
No doubt.
Yeah, I remember I was learn stuff around for like 8 years, and I'd never met him, and he was in the same crew, you know, like that, and I was just like, wow, who's this dude? Like he's up everywhere, you know. He's piecing, he's doing throw-ups, tags, really well, and it wasn't until I don't know 2000,
early 2000,
I think.
2000.
When
wow. But y'all had been in a crew together since what, 95, 96?
I think early 96. Case put me down with HBTK.
Yeah,
no doubt. So Byrne is, and just for the record, Byrne started HBTK, or was it Case? Or was it the two of them as a crew? I mean, what?
Well, it was a mixture of two crews. We had started BTK in Portland.
Yeah. Okay.
Me and Byrne and Ascend. Ascend had started HBT and Byrne, and I think it was just a melding of the two. There was another crew, BTK, already, so we just put the two together.
HBTK, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Aerosol destruction plant.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I was like this California kid that everybody was like, there's this guy from California that writes graffiti, and back then that was cool because you didn't really know anybody, you know, out here in Maine, and I mean, honestly, I was a toy compared to Rich and Byrne, man. These guys were doing pieces and shit in 95. I started writing graffiti in 89, but I was, if anybody knows graffiti culture in California in the early 90s to mid 90s in California, it was tag banging, which is a subculture of gang graffiti and graffiti combined into one. And I got really enthralled with that because I was raised in like low income housing in California, and with a lot of Mexican gang members. My high school was all pretty much half Mexican. So what I saw was tag banging, which was crazy power scribes. It was kind of a hybrid of gang and graffiti together, and that's what influenced me. I didn't even give a fuck about piecing or I mean, my first 5-6 years was fuck piecing, fuck that art shit. I'm a fucking tagger. That was really what I was into, man. I was, you know, I look back on it now and God, I was a fucking pussy, but I thought I was pretty tough back then. But I mean, now that I'm 38 and I look back at me being 16, 17, 18, I was pretty.
I'd have to say all that pays off though.
But you know, I was really influenced by gang culture in California. Anybody is that grows up, especially in the late 80s and early 90s in California, because it was very prevalent back then, even more than it is now. And so that was a huge influence for me on graffiti. I never even saw a piece until I saw Twist stuff probably in 93 or 94 in San Francisco. I mean, and I started writing, I never even saw a piece. I just saw tagging.
Right. And that was because of the area you grew up in and what was going on there. So tell me how taking that as your base and your origins basically in graffiti, and then coming to Maine and working with these cats that are piecing and styling out like that. I mean, now are you guys going out together? Were you just writing the same crew, or were you actually getting up? And because I know nowadays it's a big group of writers, 3-4 writers, 2-3 writers going out all at once. You know, were you guys doing that back then as well?
Yeah, I mean, me and Case were bombing Portland pretty hard in the 96, 97, 98. Me, Case, Byrne, and then it's just a weird transition between that and then forming SFL in 99. Which
does SFL stand for anything, by the way? So fucking lucky.
Some friends last.
Some friends last.
Because we were all really good friends, and
nice.
I think
some fucking losers.
I think I would play a role in that transition. GERV.
This is GERV, by the way.
This is GERV. What up, everybody? And that transition he's talking about would probably be where Sept and GERV, a.k.a. Sir, I used to write at the time, we kind of teamed up. And we were in high school, and we were kind of that transition from HBT, which kind of died down in the city of Portland. And the crew we started, SFL, came up and rocked pretty hard and pretty steady for years, and it continues to rock.
Probably from 99 to 2005, SFL kind of
definite
brought big city like Boston, New York bombing to Portland, Maine, which we never was really seen. HBTK bombed really good too, but HBT was more in the era that I was from, and Rich and Byrne, the older guys, are from where, you know, when I first came to Maine and I was a tagger, these guys were piecing. It was all about piecing, going to piecing spots. They still bombed, but
I was tagging in '87.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but SFL kind of brought rooftops, crazy like spots where your old mindset would be only a tag should go there.
Right.
I'm gonna put a piece there.
Yeah, you guys are aggressive.
Yeah.
Sure.
It was really
Definitely.
It was really aggressive, and I can't believe a lot of us got away with it. I mean, a lot of us didn't get away with it. I mean,
right.
You know, Alki, Sept, and Journey. I mean, a lot of us have records, but you know, criminal records from it. But we made a lot of people heard of SFL YME all over the country still to this day. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool from Portland, Maine. It's really exciting to me that I come from a big area of Bay Area, California, and then I moved to Portland, Maine, and I become known for graffiti out here rather than out there where I started. It's cool. I like it.
Definitely.
It's pretty wild too, and I want to just go back to what you were saying earlier about how you basically transition nowadays. If you want to get into graph, you can go on Facebook, go on the internet, and just be in a chat room. And I want you to talk a little bit about what your thoughts. You know, you talked about how you came up and how you were basically alone for all these years, and then working with local cats. But now it's different. What do you think about that? I mean, are you kind of a purist? Do you think that's bullshit? Do you think people should put more time in on their own, or are you happy about it and just think they need to learn how it used to be?
I wish kind of. I mean, I don't want to sound like a bitter old guy and like say it's the way it should be the way it used to be. I mean, obviously I have to evolve. Obviously, I wish newer people writing graph would kind of look at the older ways it was and kind of take a little bit of that.
Learn your history.
Learn your regional history. Learn who came before you. Learn the rules of graffiti. You know, the thing about graffiti is it's really organized, and graffiti is a skill. It's a, like carpentry or being a plumber. It's not an art form. It is an art form, but it's more of a skill than an art form. It's something that's passed down from generation to generation, and it's a craft. It's a craft. A tag is a craft, and every city and every region has its own style. And I wish kids that start writing graffiti now realize that Portland, Maine has a deep history of graffiti.
Deep, yeah.
And
what would be the best way for them to find that out? Would you say, or if you had advice to maybe somebody who's coming up right now and wants to get into it?
We're still out there. Rich is still out there to talk to. I'm still out there to talk to. Younger cats like TURDL who are writing and know the history. GERV, EMBER, we're still out there to reach out. I mean, I've dedicated my graffiti life to like educating kids about graffiti and trying to because to me graffiti is more than destroying shit, which I started out as that's what I wanted to do. To me, it evolved into a political statement of doing something against private property, which I think is kind of bullshit in a way. Yeah. And graffiti is about not taking it out against the common. You don't tag somebody's house. You don't tag a cemetery. Right. You don't tag a church. You don't tag people's cars.
About it.
That is written down through graffiti for 40, 50 years now, and I still see tags on people's apartment buildings in Portland, and it fucking pisses me off. And kids need to realize that that's not what graffiti is about. Graffiti is about mailboxes, light poles, fucking abandoned buildings, fucking government buildings, underpasses, abandoned bridges, rooftops, trains.
Definitely.
That is what graffiti. That's where graffiti should be. You don't want to piss off the common man because graffiti is made by the common man.
Right.
Graffiti is blue collar. I'm a blue collar worker. Rich is a blue collar worker. We're all blue collar people with not a lot of money, and that's what graffiti is about. Is protecting blue collar people and fucking not hitting up people's shit, man. It's about taking back what's ours, which is what we pay our taxes for.
And you've always been pretty much, I think, like a purist, right? I mean, like, do you even fuck with the legal wall at all, or are you pretty much, you're not down with that sort of lifestyle?
That's how I differ from, what Rich and like TURDL and people that are really good artists. Like, I've never been a very good artist, so I've had to kind of adapt my graffiti to that. Like, I've always done mine from I never could draw. I mean, I started writing graffiti because I had OCD and anxiety panic disorder as a teenager, and so writing over and over and over again helped me cure that. And
makes sense.
I could not draw, and I still can't. So I learned that graffiti was an expression for me to get out there, that I could fuck with these 5 letters really well, and I could have hand styles, and so I'm kind of different because graffiti to me is more of not what I actually. It's not about the product that you put out; it's about the process. Because every time I do something, it's an anxiety release. Every time I paint a train, every time I paint a new spot, it's an anxiety. I'm releasing more anxiety out there, and that I need to release from my body. And where TURDL and Rich, who are amazing artists, they go to a wall and they want to create something beautiful, so they can paint, the back of the asylum or the legal wall over and over and over again, take their flick. And it's amazing what they do, and I fucking look at their shit, and I'm like, holy shit, how do you guys do this shit? These characters and these fucking things, and then me and Rich will get in arguments because I'll be like, "Fuck the legal wall, I can't." And it's more like a psychological, or it's more like a ideological debate, because I can't paint the same thing over and over again personally, because to me it's like, it's just not. I can't do it because for me it's the process,
right? The hunt, it's the new spot,
and it's not saying anything against what they do, because they're art. I mean, to me, they're artists as well as graffiti writers, and that's the best kind of graffiti writer, because they can do both. And fucking, right. I can only give. To me, I look up to writers like Rich and TURDL, and people like that, because I envy it, because and lack Ember people. I know. I'm just saying, like I do it very purely therapeutic. Graffiti to me is a therapeutic thing for me. Right. I've never done it for people to like it. The reason I write learn is because that word is powerful.
Very. Yeah.
And that's the only reason I write learn. That's why I make it readable every time almost.
Right. Well, and one of the other things before we get into another joint, because I know we've been talking for a minute, but this is what the listeners want, so we really appreciate this. Once again, I just wanted to say that. But 2 things. One, with what you're doing nowadays, because we've kind of talked about the beginning and where you started, as well as the middle, with catching up with these guys throughout the scene and building these crews between 2 other ones. Nowadays, with what you're doing, I know you're not doing the same thing as Rich and TURDL. Are you more apt to go and get on trains? Would you rather be on a rooftop with a new spot? I mean, are you driving out of the city to go find random landscapes to be able to scour and figure out where your next piece is?
I'm still painting illegally every week. That's all I got to say.
Bang. I like that. Okay.
I told you guys we were going to be talking about some illegal shit tonight.
I'm not going to talk about where I paint or what I do, but I still paint illegally every week.
This motherfucking shit is illegal,
at 38 years old.
No doubt.
And so...
Yes.
And
yes.
I have a question for
Wait,
please.
Step in.
We got Ember One in the building. He's going to go ahead
Ember,
and
talk to us. Reppin' Sanford.
Reppin' Sanford.
I think somebody posted that on the internet. Sanford Graph.
Yeah. Anyways, I just want to know, how many times do you think you've written learn, like, in your life?
Steve.
I can guesstimate.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just being foolish.
1,700 freights.
Wow.
And probably over 500 walls.
And those are pieces on freights, right?
Yeah.
Pieces on freights, not just throw-ups.
I stopped keeping track when I hit 1,000 in 2004, because that was like, back then, 10 years ago when he hit 1,000, that was like the shit. And now people like Ick, my homie Ick YME, is already at over 2,000.
Wow.
But
serious.
So when I hit 1,000, I thought that was it. That was that was a mecca. GERV was right there by my side, painting with me almost every time too. But and so I've done that I was doing. I didn't have a job. I was just living on Brackett Street with Lack.
Those were the days.
Yeah, I painted 300 to 500 a year, and now as I've gotten older and I have a life and family, it's more like 50 to 75 a year.
Yep.
Since about 200.
No doubt. And somewhat off of his question of how many times you've written this over and over. Now, obviously, everybody in this room can appreciate the art form of it, but there is still the common folk that'll look at the back of the asylum and see that this is this beautiful Portland piece, and you know, it stands out. Everybody wants to use it in commercials, and everybody's behind it now, you know?
Yeah.
But to other people, you know, you'll look at the inside of the letters and see how the top of the L turns into the E and spins around and then comes up for the R that's hidden up on the top right. You know what I mean?
Can I tell you the truth? I hated doing that wall.
Dude, you're out of your mind. Like that shit is clean.
No, the wall is awesome and it's amazing and fucking beautiful, but it was torture to me.
Really?
Because it was hard, dude, and I had to be forced to paint in the day with people watching me, and
right.
I had to be on a stage and had to, like, when I'm in, you know, in front of a freight or in a wall, I don't have to impress anybody, and it's just me, and that's what graffiti is me. I want to do something for myself for once in my life,
right?
And
so,
you know, I want to like be alone with myself, you know, and I love contributing to the Asylum every year. I've been doing it every year since it started in '98, but I just it's hard for me to do it.
I need to do a night session straight up, straight up.
It's beautiful.
That's what it should be.
It's beautiful what it is, and that's why I can't even.
So that's like,
I can't even hold a torch to these guys, man. These guys that do the
well, but I don't even think. And this is
right now.
I'm nor king nor toy, but as you know, I mean, it's just different writers. It's different styles. Please, Rich.
Learn was doing burners way back in the day. You know what I mean? In the late '90s. So don't let him fool you. He used to get pretty technical with his pieces, but he just keeps it simple. The formula's simple for him, and he's a monster at it. He's an animal for sure.
Yeah, of course.
It's
That's
all
what's
about
up.
the letters. It's all about the letters. All you young writers who are fucking listening right now.
Yeah,
It's all about
straight
the
up.
letters.
but the Asylum's beautiful, man. It's amazing what has happened there, and
so that's like the most legal you get.
I appreciate the ability to people that don't ever see graffiti to actually see graffiti. So
what do you think about paint, bro? Like, what's your stance? What's your favorite paint? What Ross?
I mean, obviously you're gonna know my answer. I don't fuck with anything but Rust-Oleum, man.
Talk about it, man.
Rust-Oleum for the freights. There's nothing better.
Nothing. I've honestly
tell the people why.
Why?
Let them know.
It lasts. It covers. I mean, you can buy it at Home Depot. I don't have to order it online or go to fucking Arts and Craftsman and spend $9 for a can of spray paint. I just will never get that.
Right.
So you just
I don't have to have some special cap. I can just use the cap right on it, and that's what I like. I don't want to fuck around with caps. I don't want to fuck around going to the store, going to some I just want to buy my Rusto and go paint, man.
If I could chime in for a minute too, this is GERV. Is you know, some of the newer kids, like, they don't understand, like, we couldn't order caps when we were writing. We couldn't order magazines. We couldn't get on the internet. Like, you know, we would rack our paint at first, and then it got a little too hard to do.
Right.
You know, like, you know, Krylon was amazing, and I miss it. I actually miss the smell of Krylon. Like, I go into the store sometimes, I pop a cap and just smell it, and it just brings back memories. It sounds kind of strange, but, you know, the shit is real, dude. And you know, the tools we use, like Rusto and fat caps and stuff like that, kids take that shit for granted. Mops and crank, and we had to make that shit, dude. We had like graffiti labs where we would sit there and scientifically figure out how to fucking make a marker. Excuse my French.
You had
love
I had probably like 4 fat caps a year that I had to soak in alcohol for all year long.
You would clean that shit.
No shit.
You know what I mean? Like, I would pickle jar with like all my fat caps for the year, and every time I'd use them, I'd take them off and put them back in a rubbing alcohol so they'd clean out and I can use them again, because you had to go out and search out for caps at, you know, rack cap. You had to rack your caps back then. And
No doubt.
Oven cleaner.
Oven cleaner, testers, Elmer's glue. Yep.
Crazy.
So not only have the times changed, but the tools have changed, and I think that's important to note. So
definitely
stop writing on people's houses.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and actually, you know, as cool as I think it looks, when people are businesses as well, because it's cool
small businesses, mom and pop stores.
Yeah.
That's not what graffiti is about, people in Portland. And you know, another thing is, if any kids out there that start writing graffiti in Portland, this isn't the Bronx. Okay.
Right.
This is Portland, Maine. There's a way to go about writing graffiti here, and it's classy. I mean, you can still bomb, You can still do rooftops. You can still bomb. You can still tag. But we're not in the fucking South Bronx. We're in Portland, Maine. You know, be classy about it and stay off the fucking freight. So I'm gonna go a baseball bat upside your fucking head.
No doubt, no doubt. And that was words from the homie Learn. We're gonna get into a soul joint right here, and we're gonna come back after this break and pass the mic around. We got a bunch of writers in here. Thank you so much, Learn. We're gonna talk with you a lot more, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Going.
Definitely. And let's get into this brand new soul joint. I believe this is off the Eason mixtape that he just put out.
Yeah, it's the File Under Bloodshot compilation.
No doubt.
RSD. You know what I'm saying? 2013. So brand new soul for us, and yeah, coming back with Learn and everybody else here real soon. Appleton Radio, don't fuck around.
Aye.
Fresh, good, fresh, good.
Appleton. Overwork is the cousin of death. Never work unless it's something you love. Although they don't pay me to hang out with my dog, I'd rather be poor in love than dead in a suit. What if $1 represented an hour of work? What would you buy with your time? How many homes a motherfucker need? How many vacant ones lose value every day? They talk about winning the war, like winning still winning anymore. This for all them folks on the front line, living with nothing but almost dead time. They talk the talk, but would rather use force. They set the world on fire, then send in the Red Cross. But that's life in the big city. We call it alienation, you call it connectivity. They say that all the solid melts in the air, and libertarians were anarchists who got greedy, who'd rather let the market sort out the needy. I ain't got the answers, but fuck Ayn Rand, Paul, white privilege, and illiterate serfs, who'd rather burn a cross than a church. If God existed and didn't like ugly, the United States wouldn't even exist. I'm not a pig in a robe, who am I to judge? Anti-American like Christopher Columbus was. Studied the blips in history, in horizontal forms of society. State don't teach morality, and the law don't do shit but defend the wealthy. The first world nations did fine before we arrived, and in the Paris Commune, only the king was starved. Yeah, right. There's another way. I wanna leave the 21st century. I'm gonna leave the 21st century. Hey, Oise, take me to the bridge, but don't hang me from it. St. Fallujah. Got in an argument with a dude from Halliburton who said God made oil and plutonium, and if you nuked every city on the planet, that'd be what God had intended. I think about artists in Europe and how Canadian rappers are publicly funded. Shudder to think what that'd look like in the States. Every indie record would have joined the army ad. There's a conspiracy about gangster rap that labels work to fill the prison industrial complex. Gangster rap is as American as cowboys and Indians. No one glorifies bank robbers that fund revolutions. They sell you freedom, we steal it. We create life, they copyright it. I can't sleep, but I keep dreaming. Wake up exhausted, gotta make the donuts. 20 years ago, Fukuyama said it was the end of history, and the motherfucker was wrong. The world's been on fire ever since, and we got front row seats in the belly of the beast to oblivion.
Right now, actually, we're coming right back, and that was that brand new Soul Never Work joint. But we're back in the spot, and we got GERV in the building, as well as a bunch of other cats. Ember, I see TURDL, I see Rich, I see Boons, I see Unawful, I see OD. Holy cow!
Yeah.
But yo, give us some information, GERV. Talk to us a little bit. You were talking about some documentary that maybe you're involved with. I'm sure both you learn as well.
What up, everybody? This is GERV. And yeah, I'd like to talk. I guess let's start off with plugging a project that me and Learn are working on. We're working on a book, the history of Portland graffiti. You know, the graffiti history in Portland runs deep, as you can see we've been talking about tonight. There's a lot to cover. It's a big story to tell. There's a lot of writers involved, and so that's a project we're going to be plucking away at for the rest of this year probably, and so look forward to a full book of real history coming at you.
Nice, very nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And Lauren, you were talking about some a documentary or a video documentary about freights.
Yep. Mint Films by it's local
Mint Films,
cats.
yeah, that's our homie.
They're
Yep.
putting out a Wyme and Circle T documentary on freights called Year-Round Metal Enjoyment, and it's a New England freight documentary about all from Boston to Canada. It's all about New England freights, and with the spotlight on Wyme and Circle T, which are my two crews.
Yep.
So be on lookout for that in the fall.
Yeah, and there's actually there's a couple of snippet videos, I believe, floating around that I've seen.
Yep, and I think the full release trailer is going to be out in the next week or two.
Cool.
So
Great.
You see that everywhere. I think there's a Kickstarter page going to be going on for that too, where you can get some prints of.
There's a website too. They just set up. Maybe we could drop that on your guys' page or something.
Definitely, yeah. Make sure you shoot it over to us. We'll plug it.
Yep.
We'll plug it on the show. We'll
I
make
think
sure
you
we get it
donate
out
a certain
there.
amount of money and you get some original prints from either Learn, Journey, Rich, Mess, Avs, Spec, a lot of New England old school writers.
Nice.
Real heads.
Lack. That's another thing I want to talk about is my homie Lack, who's my original freight partner, who is a big influence on my career.
Definitely.
Amazing artist, amazing tattoo artist, and doesn't get enough rep because he is mostly in the tattoo thing now. But me and him kind of started the whole freight game as far as mass producing freights. Obviously, Rich and Byrne were already tagging freights in the day, but me and Lack kind of started mass producing as far as numbers in the late 90s.
Trying to hit that 1,000.
Yeah, we decided this is what we were going to do. We were still bombing Portland, but we got into mainly looking at other crews around the country, Addict's crew from Texas, some other crews from Minneapolis, HM, and some crews from Canada. And we saw how riders from smaller cities can get out there by hitting freights.
Right.
And we started doing it, me and Lack, and we took a bus down to Texas to paint freights in 2001.
Wow.
4 days to paint freights.
Wow. Got wind of a spot down there.
I was used to the bus because I had taken the bus back and forth from California many times, but Lack was like a Mainer going, "What the fuck is this Greyhound?" But it was fun. But
And now, how long you said you hit that G mark with Lack and basically building that up?
2004.
Time frame line. How long do you think it took you to hit those 1,000 freights?
Not that long.
Yeah, 90. I started painting freights in 96, but that was just like, we didn't even know what we were painting. We just didn't want to do a wall, so
Right.
we went and painted a freight. But I started concentrating on freights in like 98. So 98 to 04, I hit 1,000 because, from 99 to 04, I didn't do I didn't go to bars. I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't do anything but paint freights.
And just to put perspective on
I
this,
swear to God,
too,
I didn't drink. I didn't smoke weed. I didn't do
You just
anything.
wrote nothing.
I woke up in the morning and I went and checked to see if there was trains. I went and tracked every single freight I did in a book and on the calendar. I called numbers to track my freights, CSX numbers. I lived and died freights for 5 years, and I still live and die freights. But that's
When you
all I
say
did.
track them, just to know where they were headed?
Yeah, there's a 1-800 number for CSX you could call and track your freights back then. Back then, you could do it online. They stopped that after 9/11, but now there's still a number you can call.
Gotcha.
And I don't do it anymore. I used to keep track of every number I painted, and
Serious.
You still have
yeah. I still have my book that I stopped in
the old
2004. Yeah, that had every single number in it.
It just to put some things in perspective too. Like I was active in painting freights with Lack and Learn back then, and these guys
Definitely.
were pushing out numbers way beyond what anybody else was doing in the region as well. I mean, I was up to maybe like 200 or 300, and these guys were already at like 1,000. So just like, the amount of work these guys put in was like snow, rain, sleet. It didn't matter. We were all there doing it, but Learn and Lack were like honestly crushing it beyond anybody in the region at that time. So
no doubt.
I think we have autism, both of us, but
yeah, you guys might have a problem.
We had a serious problem. I mean, it was pretty weird, dude. Like, I look back on it now going, I was a fucking weirdo, dude.
Right.
Like, seriously. I mean, you can ask my fiance now who's here.
Yeah.
But I'm still a weirdo about it. But it was really weird back then.
We lived, ate, and breathed freights.
It impacted
literally.
my life seriously, too. It was like almost like a disability.
Right. You were addicted to freights.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
couldn't do nothing else, man. That's cool.
And
what
that-
about? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no.
I want to go with the classic, since I know we only have like 10 minutes left or so to talk about some maybe chase stories and some things that you might be able to drop on us, because I always like to ask that if there's anything that sticks out.
There's some good ones. I don't know.
I got California chase stories. I got Maine chase
Bring 'em
stories.
on.
Please,
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 drop.
we'd like to hear both.
Keep it Maine.
Oh yeah,
Infamous.
I'll tell you a story that's coming out in the magazine.
I'm gonna be. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm gonna be in the new Infamous magazine. It's a graffiti magazine out of Philadelphia. It's a story that I don't know if people that are listening that know graffiti. There's a graffiti writer from San Francisco called Ty. He was a little Asian kid that was in the late '90s. Crushed California. Crushed San Francisco. He had San Francisco on lock.
Serious bomber.
Every single thing. He was a beast.
And he have that huge boat piece too.
That was done for him after he died.
Yeah,
okay.
That was a memorial piece. But
oh man,
yeah, he was just a beast. And anyway, so to keep it short, I had the opportunity to paint with him about '98, about a couple months before he died, and it was a quintessential. It was in Hunters Point in San Francisco, which is a deep ghetto. It's really, really where white people shouldn't hang out.
Sure.
But we ended up there at an apartment, and I'm very white. But anyway, we ended up there. We ended up there, and it wasn't anything like today. I told my story in the book, in the magazine. There's no iPhones, no computers. It was straight hip hop and blunts and just people hanging out, almost like now. Is awesome. And we just went and hung out there, and then I realized this guy was Ty, and I was like, holy shit, this is fucking Ty. And we ended up just going out in San Francisco that night and crushing, and we got chased by the cops really hard, and I ended up in Hunters Point with one other person alone in the middle of the night, which is almost like being in Brownsville, New York, or Compton. It's pretty much the same thing. And luckily the guy I was with, who was also white, but he was a real thuggy white dude, he said, hey, I've been here before. If any car goes by, you need to duck in an alleyway or duck any car. It was 2, 3 in the morning. You're not supposed to be out at that time of night if you're white in that neighborhood. So anyway, we got chased. I didn't know where I was. He knew a little bit where he was. We ended up in an abandoned Muni tunnel, which is the subway system in San Francisco is the Munis.
Okay.
Or the BART, or it's one of the two. And we ended up in that, and all we saw was lighters from crackheads flicking and people yelling at us. And we ran, and it was pitch black. You couldn't see anything, and it smelled like fucking dead bodies and piss.
I think you took a wrong turn, man.
And he said, run through this fucking thing as fast as you can. Just run. Yeah. And we ran, and we got out. And when we came out, we were at the other end of Hunters Point, almost down, I think, 3rd Street, I think it is out there. And the sun was coming up, and we hopped on a bus. We were dirty as fuck and grimy, and there was all black women on the bus. I remember that. It was weird. And they looked at these two white people like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Right.
So that's probably one of the craziest stories, because I've had a lot of chase stories out here.
Were you tripping over crackheads when you were running through that, or did you?
It was one of those things where it's like a movie almost. Like I have a lot of chase stories out here, but which are equally pretty cool, pretty crazy. But that was like more of like very vivid, and that Ty was involved. He's like a graffiti legend in my mind because he was such a crazy bomber. And I don't know if you know the story of Ty, but he got shot by a vigilante.
Yeah.
He was climbing a rooftop, and some fucking coward thought he was a robber. He was a Buddhist Asian kid.
Right.
He was skinny and little, and he was a Buddhist, man. He was all about peace and love. He just wanted to graffiti. and this guy just blew him away with a shotgun.
Yeah, shot him in the back, right?
Yep, shot him right in the back too while he's running away.
Yep.
And the guy got off too. The guy never did any time for it.
Yeah, I remember seeing some
So you
interviews
you
about
guys
that.
can tag his house. That's acceptable.
He wasn't tagging his house. He was climbing on his roof to do a rooftop.
No,
That
I'm
was
saying
near.
we can tag that guy's house.
Oh yeah.
That's acceptable. Nobody else.
Yeah. So that was one of those stories where I'm glad I got out of that alive.
Jeez, yeah.
Definitely, yeah, that's crazy. And did you have a main one you wanted to hit real quick before we go? And I mean,
yeah, this is like more main funny one. I'm not gonna say where I was in Portland, but we were bombing. We got chased. We were running through some crazy like wooded area, and we heard like the cop radios like on our tail pretty much. So we all it was me, Journey, and Ted, and we all like huddled around this tree. And I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'd take a shit so bad that fucking I thought I was. And I told him, I'm not gonna get arrested and shit my pants. I have some dignity in me because I thought, it was like we're gonna get arrested right now.
Right,
I heard the cop radios. We were running through these woods, and I'm like, let's just hide out, but we're gonna get caught. They're right on, and they're right. Who knows if they have dogs? I don't know, but we could hear them,
Sure.
And we were like deep in the woods, so like if they went that far, they're not gonna give up without getting us.
Sure.
So I was pretty much holding hands with another dude taking a shit. Like huddled around a tree, and I told him, I'm like, sorry guys, and I wiped my ass with my underwear and fucking threw it, and then we huddled there for another 20 minutes, and we're like, we're not gonna get arrested right now.
Wow.
Holy shit, we're not gonna get fucking caught.
Wow.
Lucky shit. So it was my lucky shit.
Wow,
and
there you go.
And we walked out. We walked out onto the street and got picked up, and
there you go, got out of there alive.
and that car ride was not very enjoyable as far as aroma wise.
I'm sure. I can wow.
It's like painting on metal.
Definite, no doubt. And so just one last time, just a quick plug, shout outs before we go. We're also going to pass the mic around. There's so many people here and involved. We want everybody to get a shout out in.
I want to shout out all my crews, Why Me, Circle T, HBTK, SFL. I want to say peace to my family. They mean the most to me. I love you dearly. My daughter, my fiance. And then peace to Journey, Ick, Mess, Spec, Turtle, Rich. Yeah, fucking Peck, solo artists. Everybody, man. That's it, I think.
No doubt.
All my crew down in Boston, and all my crews up here. Love y'all.
That's what's up. So big shout out, Lauren. Thank you for coming through and helping put this together. Also, we got everybody else in the spot. Just some quick shout outs. Go ahead with it.
Yo, Turtle, RB, HBT, AX, TMS. Thank you very much for having me in here, yo. It was an honor.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It was crazy to hear the stories, and I just feel honored to be here.
This is Mike Rich Design, and I'd just like to say I'm one of Learn's biggest fans, and he rocks, and he's the king of the freight scene, and he deserves respect. Blah, blah.
Big up.
Yo, it's Ember. You know me, man. I've known you since, I don't know, whatever, 98.
Right.
Graffiti. Seriously, it's all about the letters. All right, man. Peace.
Yo, what up? This is GERV, SFL, Why Me? I'd like to say a special thank you for everybody being here. It's just pretty awesome. Thanks for having me in this room, guys, hosting the show. And big respect to Learn, true legend, Portland graffiti history, straight letters, rocking it hard, nonstop. And, shout out to everybody, Sept, Teddy especially. And, UE Mag represent.
No doubt. And, I feel bad for some of the listeners, too, because you guys got a great interview here and a lot explained. But, in between joints and the pictures that are going around, floating around from 92, 93, all of these guys have been crushing for years. And, we promise you guys with all the other writers that are here, we'll get them back for a more in-depth interview as well. And just real happy to have Learn here. And, for anybody that's interested in the entire scene, that's what we want to bring here with Appleton. Not just the music, not just the b-boying, not just the DJing, not just the graph and the beatboxing and all that, but the whole culture, because a lot of people would look at Maine and not think that we have all of those elements as strongly as we do. So big shout out to all you guys for being here. Appleton Radio Show, keeping y'all informed. No doubt. And big shout out to everybody that came through. If you guys tuned in, we greatly appreciate it. Share the podcast. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we're here every week, Wednesday night, 7 and 9. Make sure you guys go down to Rap Night. $3 down at the Big Easy, 55 Market Street.
We talked about it briefly, right? But Sandbag, I9, Mike Cloud's on the bill. They're doing it for HIV awareness, the something foundation, I forget.
Yeah, Francis Peabody.
Thank you.
Yep,
that works
definitely.
out great. Learn, again, thank you very much. All the guys, GERV, everybody, man. Appreciate the show this evening. We're going to end it on this track by somebody called Legacy. It's called Graffiti Vandalism is the name of the track. I don't know. It's the only...
from Bangor, I think, right?
It was in a folder from a kid named Maniacist, I think, who's out of Bangor. I don't know. It's the only track in the Appleton archives that has the word graffiti in it.
Play it.
So we figured,
I think that's pretty lame, but...
No, we're ending the show. But also, yeah, that's a wake-up call to you, Maine Hip Hop community. Let's make some fucking graph songs.
No, they don't. Hey, not when we went to Brewer. Not when me and Rich went to Brewer. All right, we're out here, guys.
Right,
207, Maine Hip Hop. It's the culture, it's the music, it's the movement. Thank you guys for being tuned in. We're going to end it off here. Let's go.
The bottom of the piece, I say about it, like, you guys are going to move it, you ought to cut the ground out away. None of it's going to be big like. I want you to start from about here. All right, maybe even here. Start it from here. Listen, from here.
Vandalism on the street with graffiti on the beat. Dig it down 6 feet. This is me getting deep. It's a dog world, and this man is gonna eat. Staying up so many nights, I ain't getting any sleep. With the world so cold, best believe I'm packing heat. Before I go off track, bring me back a beat. Feeling me like they can feel the bump in the back seat. Everybody's puzzled, that's because I'm the last piece. When the rains are pour, let it pour in the northeast. Playing 4 key cheers weeks. I ain't gonna cheat. Vandalism on the street, and your raisins and I bleed. Taking what I want, everything and anything I need. Putting marijuana down, ain't got a thing to do with weed. Rolling through another red light, blowing through the green. Let me roll it up, smoke it up, show you what I mean. No, though I'm broke, even though I'm a dope fiend, you're just a drag queen. Running circles like a track team. I can see you think I'm blind with the high beam. Stick me high, cause I ain't as high as the high seems. Taking shots, now they're shooting at me cause I had a dream. Rappers like drinking coffee black, I'm here to add the cream. It's time for me to hold back, I rap like a machine. Acting like I can't be seen, no one rising on the scene. Blowing smoke, graffiti on the beat, got me blowing steam. Getting dirty cause these people ain't ever getting clean.
Now, first outline is needed. Always needed. This way you know what you're filling in. No matter how good you are, you can't just go in and just start filling in the air.
Read between the lines, got it all written on the wall. People tripping just because they see me getting on the ball. From the start, I will march. I'm not gonna fall, standing tall, cause I get the balls. I've been walking tall, good at popping jaws and dropping good and popping Tylenol. Cause I'm rocking, never stopping, never dropping, never stall. Tell me break a leg, no thanks. I'm not gonna crawl, I know I'm destined, but my destination's waiting on the call. Waiting longer than you all, stronger than you all. It was all or nothing, cause I got a problem with you all. Hit these people ripping off their hair until they're going bald. Thinking I think I know everything. That's right, I know it all. Let me show them all how it's done. Cause they got my dog. Fuck them all, this beast will show his teeth and they be getting more. Getting knocked, laying on top of the asphalt. For the run assault, like I'm tripping on the bath.